The Dr. Ray Podcast is a co-production of Ave Maria Radio and EWTN Radio. Here's today's monologue with Dr. Ray Guarendi.
This is C.S. Lewis. Now, C.S. Lewis is, safe to say, the highest profile 20th century apologist for the Christian faith. Very, very much so. He says this: "Of course I pray for the dead. The action is so spontaneous, so all but inevitable, that only the most compulsive theological case against it would deter me. And I hardly know how the rest of my prayers would survive if those for the dead were forbidden." What? He goes on. "At our age," and this was when he was older, "the majority of those we love best are dead. What sort of intercourse with God could I have if what I love best were unmentionable to Him? I believe in purgatory." C.S. Lewis in Mere Christianity. He goes on. "Our souls demand purgatory, don't they? Would it not break the heart if God said to us, 'It is true, my son, that your breath smells and your rags drip with mud and slime. But we are charitable here, and no one will upbraid you with these things, nor draw away from you. Enter into the joy.' Should we not reply, 'With submission, sir, and if there is no objection, I'd rather be cleaned first'? It may hurt, you know. Even so, sir. I assume," this is C.S. Lewis now, "that the process of purification will normally involve suffering. Partly from tradition, partly because most real good that has been done me in this life has involved it. My favorite image on this matter comes from the dentist's chair. I hope that when the tooth of life is drawn and I'm coming around, a voice will say, 'Rinse your mouth out with this.' This will be purgatory. The rinsing may take longer than I can now imagine. The taste of it may be more fiery and astringent than my present sensibility could endure." So there you have it. C.S. Lewis makes a rational case for purgatory. The Catholics can make a biblical case because of the books in the Old Testament that are in our Bible that were removed by Martin Luther in the 15th century. 16th, sorry. Also, there was a tradition, the Morder's Kiddush, the Jewish people called it. It was an 11-month period of pray for the dead, that they might be loosed from their chains, as the Old Testament says. Jesus never spoke against it. Jesus never said, "Hey, whoa, this is not necessary here. It's not necessary." Dr. Ray, Jesus said, "This day you shall be with me in paradise." End of story. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Straight to heaven. Yes. But after death, time ceases to exist. So therefore it doesn't really matter. He's saying this day, meaning this earth day, of course. But afterwards, what is the purification? Is it brief and intense in our time frame? But we don't really know what time is like in eternity, right? It ceases to exist. It's eternity. There's no time. There's no change. Time is a measurement of change. So that remark is irrelevant to speak against purgatory. It would also make logical sense, would it not? Scripture says, nothing impure shall enter heaven. That's in Revelation. Nothing with sin shall enter heaven. Well, how's that going to happen? Unless there is some type of purification. All I know is I don't know an awful lot about me. I don't know really the way that I fall short in every way. I don't know that. I could spend my life scrutinizing my sinfulness, but I don't know what I don't know. That's why I got a wife to tell me. But somehow, some way, if I want to be free of all that self stuff that clings to me, somehow, some way, I got to see it. I got to know it. And then I got to shed it by God's grace. Purgatory makes logical sense. Certainly has historical evidence to it. It's got biblical evidence to it. And the greatest Protestant apologist of the 20th century said, there's plenty of evidence to believe in it.
More of Dr. Ray's monologues can be found on his website, drray.com. Monologues as well as full-length programs of The Doctor Is In can be heard at AveMariaRadio.net and EWTN.com/radio.